Hey folks, and welcome to Operator Guides number 20. We finally made it! I know 20 isn't really that many videos, but considering these are my first YouTube videos, it felt like forever. Now, consider this. If you've watched my Operator Guide so far, or even just one or two, you probably have gathered two things about Rainbow Six. The first is that intelligence is everything. If you know where the enemy is, you have an incredible advantage over them. With this knowledge, you'll probably beat them in every engagement, simply because their element of surprise is gone. Secondly, an ACOG makes the entire game much easier. So just hypothetically, what if there were an operator that had both of those things, an ACOG on an excellent gun, and intelligence in abundance? Wait, that's not a hypothetical, that's today's operator! Her name is IQ, and despite all of the abilities that totally should make her broken, the only thing overpowered about her is her haircut. Seriously, she must have such a bad case of hat head. Anyway, IQ. She has 3 primaries, 1 secondary, 2 deployables, and 1 hell of a gadget. Her primaries are kind of like a tier list. The first, an AUG, has an ACOG. It's a solid weapon, good damage, and low recoil. The second, an assault rifle, is okay. It's not bad, but it's not great either. The final, a light machine gun, is for when you think reloading is stupid and magnifying scopes are even dumber. I always use the AUG, but that's just because it fits with how I like to play IQ. It's versatile. Her deployables are a soft breach charge or claymores. The claymores are good for covering behind you to make sure no roamers sneak up on you. However, I always use the soft breach anyway. It's a good distraction and an easy way to create sightlines. Now for her gadget. Essentially, all it does is scan for electronics. It will show you, even through walls, any electronic it sees. This basically negates Capcan, Thorn, or any other operator's traps. Except Frost, her traps aren't electronic and thus won't show up. You can also use and aim a secondary while using the gadget, meaning you aren't as helpless as Pulse is when he's using wall hacks. Here's a demonstration.
Located a bomb.
So, speaking of playstyles, how do you play IQ? Well, you have several choices, all of which can be viable, but some are definitely more successful than others. And FYI, I rate success based on winning rounds, not getting kills. In this playstyle, you rely heavily on your gadget. It doesn't have charge, so you technically can go the whole game without putting it away. However, that is stupid. Except when it's not. The thing is, several defenders actively use electronics at all times. For example, you can see Pulse's sensor at all times, unless he's near a mute jammer, which you can also see. Sometimes, and I don't really understand this part, you can see defenders' phones as well. You know how Takebi can call those phones, and that's their only real use, at least for the attacker side? Well, IQ can see them as well, as long as the defender is using it, meaning looking at cameras or drones on their phone. Watching out for that kind of signal is essential for surviving alone. Keep in mind, you have the lowest possible health for an attacker. You only take 2 Capcan traps to be murdered, as compared to the normal 3. So be vigilant, be slow, and be silent. During the drone phase, don't worry about finding the objective unless it's hostage. If it is, go ahead and search. But if it's bombs or biohazard container, then just use the drone phase to plan out your personal route to the objective. Look at what entryways aren't as heavily defended and what areas to avoid. At the end of the drone phase, ping where you intend to enter. Specify to your team that you'll be alone, but you can drop enemies or provide a distraction if that's what they need. This use of the drone phase is possible, because even if your teammates don't find it, you can actually pick up and find the biohazard container or bombs with your gadget.
Bomb spotted.
Located. You have located a bomb.
Don't use the soft breach to enter, just punch your way in. It's quieter. Also, be sure to drone ahead of you as much as possible to be aware of anything your gadget hasn't or can't pick up. Be sure to ping any traps that you see near your teammates, even if you aren't with them. This may save their lives, or at least help them concentrate. Also, keep in mind that Vigil will not show up on your scans or on your drone. I've learned that the hard way. Make your way to the objective and clear the room. Ping traps that may cause a problem, kill defenders, and don't get your head blown off. Standard stuff. I recommend using the breach charges to open a soft wall, if there's one around. This way, you can have an unexpected sightline into the room. Remember, even if you're inside the room and have cleared it of defenders, a late or misplaced cluster charge by a certain teammate will absolutely end your life. Fucking fuse.
RED active. It runs on machines. I see it. Detected a...
Hostile activity. Securing the container once the threat is neutralized. Secure the container.
Just get inside.
Op 4 last stop standing.
Come on, you can get inside.
Here is the opposite playstyle. Stick with your team, but use the drone phase in the same way. Find traps, find defenders, ping where you want to enter at the end. Once you've breached, you have a much different job. You have to guard both the front and back of your group. You need to provide detailed pings and callouts to your team about where the traps are. Hey, there's a Kapkan trap on the bottom left of that doorway, Blitz, is an excellent example. Similarly, call out any defenders you can sense, like Pulse, or any phones you can see, since those are always in the defender's pockets. Again, you can only see them when they're using them, but if you do, then there's a defender right there. You also need to guard the back of your group. Vigil, Caveira, Bandit, and Thorn are all roamers who specialize in sneaking up on attackers. You have to be prepared for them at all times. If you're using this playstyle, you need claymores. Place them carefully, but also make sure that they cover entire doorways that roamers might run through. These are one-hit kills, so if it goes off, that means a defender is dead. These can absolutely be destroyed by defenders, so placing one doesn't mean let your guard down. As your group makes its way to the objective, you need to check each doorway, each room you pass, and behind you as well. It's a lot of responsibility, but IQ is the most equipped out of all the operators to do this. Here's why this playstyle is the most successful, at least in my opinion. IQ doesn't have much health, that much I've said. She just isn't meant to be a frontline operator. She takes a while to aim down sights, she loses most firefights simply because most defenders have better equipment than she does. However, guarding the rear or acting as a makeshift sniper with your ACOG results in easily the most kills you can get as IQ. She can be an incredible teammate if played right. She's the closest thing to a support operator I've seen in Rainbow Six. She simply isn't meant to gather kills, she's meant to help others do so. So stick with your team. When you clear the objective room, you need to guard the doors and walls and call out if you see defenders coming for a counterattack. If you do all this right, then you will easily net yourself the MLG spot on the winning team. See? It's completely doable. Anyway folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please remember to like and subscribe for more and higher quality content. I'll release 2 or 3 videos, short ones, after this, and then we'll move on to Apex Legends. Have an excellent day.